hello. And do you know, is this chatting shit? I don't know.
We're gonna talk some shit. So is it chatting shit? I mean, we used to do this is definitely not a meta simplified. And
Hmm.
this isn't that either.
No, that's true. That's true. But the important thing is Dan is here. That is the important thing.
I take a
Um,
week off. I take a week off and Drew makes some dreadful suggestions. Um, it was like season one again. I watched the video back at work while I was peer reviewing some reports, and it was like season one, just Aaron one side arguing something and Matt one side arguing the complete opposite. So yeah,
yeah,
who says
but often when that's happened, I've disagreed. But like here, I really like this. Like uh, I think we could both be right. I think this is one of those instances where two things could be right, and it doesn't happen often in cups like this because, or in Stuff Cups or Devon Cups, because they tend to be so. A line comes around, right?
yeah?
And that tends to be it. Yeah, I don't know. This is genuinely the most excited I've been for.
I know you traded with my 7 year old for something. You know what I mean? So
I
yeah.
don't know what you could possibly mean. Um,
Well, because I flew over to Canada
oh yes, yes,
and
that's
yeah, my
yeah.
seven. Well, I didn't personally fly my 7 year old, but I let him get on planes all the time, especially for international flights. Yeah,
Well, the flights are good these days. The flights are, airlines are good. They want the business. They'll have the flight attendants will have looked after it, I'm sure. Um, yeah, but no, it's good. But so chatting shit was about the shit picks. We're going to talk about the big picks, and we're gonna try and be fairly quick. We've got one of those tier list things that the kids are all doing. Um, so we're going to do that. We've got the V10 ones, which are like the top tier. We've got the good ones, the ones that are good for the price, the ones that are okay but are a bit expensive, the bad ones, and then like the Drew level kind of let's not use that sort of thing.
yeah.
Yeah, and we'll go through in alphabetical order. So let's start with the bombers now. What do you reckon?
So I think a bomber snow will appear on probably 80% of teams. Do I think it's good? No. Do I think it's necessary and fills a niche? Yes. And that's where I would be mainly putting it myself. I think it's more of a value pick. I think it does offer good value for where it's placed within it, obviously, and what side it's on. So, yeah, that's where I would be placing that, to be honest, is within the value. Does what it does well, but it's not necessarily going to be in my starting three. It's going to be there for more bench pressure more than anything else. I know that's probably giving away too much secrets, but yeah.
No,
You disagree?
I agree. No, I agree completely. I think that.
Yeah,
Um, I think if a bomber snow and Aurora's for the same price, I think there's still arguments to go for a bomber snow. So the fact that a bomber snow is 2 points cheaper, I think
makes it
is really good.
really good value.
Yeah, so I would struggle to argue. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, and I think again, I think it'll be popular. Like what you're going to get with the bomb snow. It's a solid dragon answer. It's not completely walled by waters. Like Aaron was saying, it doesn't often beat the waters because it's a bit slower to that energy ball and that sort of thing. I think Melodic can dragon tail through Shadow along Snow in the twos, just straight dragon tail and deal with it. So like it doesn't always beat the waters, but it does what you really want it to do. It does it well.
Are you going to ball or wind with it,
See,
would you say?
I think I'm Shadow here, and if you're Shadow, I think you're definitely Paul. I think pressure and speed is really important in this cup to keep up with Malamar, and so therefore I think Shadow and Ball is the way for me personally.
So I was thinking wind. Um, a bomb slow loses to what it loses to. It's not going to beat everything. So I can see the advantage going to the shadow because it'll die quicker. But I'd like it to debust something on its way out. Do you know what I
Mm.
mean? And that could make the difference between surviving a superpower and not surviving a superpower. And for that, that's why I generally would say wind. But anyway, that's digressing. I just thought while we're on Bomber Snow, we should touch on it.
Yeah, and actually the bulkier version with wind might help against artifacts as well. So I wouldn't confused, but I kind of think, uh, yeah, I think honestly, I don't think you could go wrong either way. Like it's still going to do what it needs to.
Yeah.
On the subject of artifacts is next.
I like Artifacts. I really, really like it. It was said in chatting shit that this is the best dragon, and I would really agree. Actually, it is the best dragon overall. Dragons at the moment. It's fast. The fact it can take ice damage is such a lovely, lovely thing. So yeah, I would be putting this towards good. Whether it'll be on everyone's teams, I don't know. I don't think it will be on everyone's teams. I think it should be. But I can understand why people will go for more value than what it offers, because it is quite an expensive pick.
3 points. And it's
only three.
Yeah, 3 points.
Oh, I thought it was a 4. I did think it was a 4-point pick. That's why I was like, but no, I definitely go. It's very good. I think it's a good pick. I don't think it's. This is the thing. It's what you put up with B10. I know Ryan quite well, and Ryan's like up here. Yeah. And do I think it's that high? No. Do I think it's just below?
I think it is. I think B10.
Okay. I mean, I'll back you on that because I'm like A- rather than B+. So.
Sure. So I think that because I'm committed to not running Malamar here because there's a lot of 1-point picks that can just Fury cut through it, and I don't want to have my 5-point pick lose an RPS war against the 1-point. Right? That's just not how I want to play. And part of the reason that makes it easier to not run Malamar is that Artifacts is so good neutrally as well. Like Malamar beats a lot of stuff, Artifacts beats a lot of stuff as well. And I think for 2 points less, I'm getting it on the weaker side of the drawer, I guess. I think it's got a lot going for it, so that's why I think it's a B10.
Okay. No, I will go with that. I do think it's good. I think this play to run them both Malamar and Artifacts, to be honest. I think you can make cases for weaker picks further down.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I just feel like they're both very similar, and like they're perhaps not having. I mean, Malamar has more like really good matchups than Artifacts for sure, but it's not many of them. And I don't know that I want to spend half my budget on 2 mons that between them don't have like hard wins. That's why I don't think I'll be running them both. But yeah, Artifact's fantastic mon. Don't think you can go wrong with it for 3 points. Well, yeah, even better.
Yeah. Okay. This one's gonna be an interesting one.
So let me start this one because there's no one that likes Crest more than me. And I couldn't ever put it in bad, but I think it is overpriced here. And I understand it because it's Crest, it's good, it's really good. But when it's just 1 point left than Malamar, and Malamar's so pickable and just hammers Crest. Yeah, it's difficult because if it was 4, it's overpriced. It's 4, so it is overpriced in my mind. If it was 3, it'd be value. So that's the issue. So I think for me it has to go overpriced.
So I thought I was going to have to fight you on this, to be honest, because I think it is overpriced. In this particular meta, let's not forget this thing. For its value of where it sits and how much it cost you, it loses to fucking Ninjask. It loses to Golispod. It loses to Scyther. These are, 1-point picks are absolutely battering it. And because of the high value of some things, people are going to have to fill in with these 1-point picks. As I said, Malamar, if you run Malamar and Artifacts, you're going to have to be really creative with your 1 point picks and actually pick things that hit things in the right place. So yeah, that's why I think it's overvalued. If this was just a list of Great League Mons, Crest would not be but in this meta, it's overvalued, I'm afraid. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. So, so it's very interesting. Like, there's all those ones that you mentioned, Decipher, and Jazz. They also eat Malamar, but we're saying Malamar's God's gift, even though it's a point more than Crest. So, you know,
Sidewave.
I, well, yeah, sideways, but like that's again,
Sidewave's so far. Have you got blind in your house?
not in this room. It's not very good. It's kind of this is
Okay,
the
I'm just letting you know you have got
yeah.
like loads of sunlight coming through at you.
I'm going to re-angle, and then it maybe seem like a halo. Like maybe I should do that. But yeah, no, this is the room that gets flooded a lot. So we're not
Matt
committed
Brewer,
to flooding
Pokemon's
the
answer to Jesus.
Listen, you said it, not me, right? um, it'll probably go behind a tree or a flower. Um, yeah, Cray.
Overpriced. Do you
Okay.
disagree? Yeah, it's straight away. I think it's overpriced because if it was 1 point less, then it'd be really good value, really great. It offers so many different things. I don't think it offers quite enough here. We've already talked about artifacts. We've already talked about a bomber snow. These are things that you are going to struggle. Dilly's going to struggle with, and I think you would be picking for that sort of value in that sort of slot. I just don't see it offering the range that I would want it to here in this meta. Do you think it's value?
I'm kind of hovering between the two. I think, like, if it was on the left-hand side, I think it was overpriced. If it's on the right, given that it's on the right-hand side where it's kind of weaker, I think that goes in its favor. But I do think, like, it's a rock type which is valuable here, but it doesn't really do rock type things. And then because of that, it also loses its water resistance. So that's kind of like not ideal. It's kind of neither here nor there. It's not neutral thing, but doesn't have the pressure that's in that artifact does. So yeah, I guess overpriced. Yeah, I guess
Sorry.
overpriced. No, I'm not a credit guy. That's sounds good. So,
Yeah, no, I was apologizing to Aaron when he's watching this, and
Aaron's not going to run credit. See, this is the problem. Everyone's going to spend so many points on the left-hand side. The right-hand side things are going to be like you'll have a Gillespie or an aspects. Probably not both. Maybe both. I don't know. But like the right-hand side is just too shit.
I think you could be creative. I think I think Devon has really put something out there for us to be creative. So yeah, why not?
Yeah.
Tentacruel.
Tentacruel shouldn't. I don't know why it's there. We should be doing this in alphabetical. Oh, well, okay. We were going to do this in alphabetical order. Clearly, we're not.
Clearly, we're not. Clearly, they have a different alphabet in Canada than they do.
Yeah. Okay. Let's go Tentacruel. Okay, I'll let you start on this one. This one might be one we argue.
I thought you would start on Tentacruel because I know it's a favorite. I know you like it. I do think it offers value, and it's got a fantastic bait move. Scold is a fantastic mood. It's bulky. It does its job. What's it really not wanting to take a hit from? Probably not many things. You think of it against a Jumpluff, it really does a fucking good job against a Jumpluff. And when we're looking at grasses, Abomasnow and Jumpluff are pretty much your only grasses, unless you start going more obscure with your Sceptiles and things like that. Or your Cradilly actually would do a job against it, But your more desirable grasses are not going to do that kind of great job against it. So it's quite expensive. I'll be honest. It's not cheap. It's not cheap at all. but I would say it still is good value for what it represents.
So are you saying it's value, or are you saying it's good?
I'm saying it's value. I'm not saying it's
Yeah,
good because
interesting. Okay, fair
I
enough.
think for what it does, you could maybe separate that into two and have it further down the line as 1 point picks.
Hmm. So I'm gonna make the case for being good. Let's look at all these mons here. Let's take Malamar out of the equation. What does it not want to take on?
Mew, if Mew is running Volt Switch.
And who's running Mew here?
You didn't ask that as a question.
No, no. Okay, this is my follow-up question because
Okay.
because
Okay.
the other
No.
the other answers are Dusclops, Giratina, Dragapult, and uh,
Wouldn't Runagrigus beat it?
Regice. Yeah, but even then, it can hit you out of the skull. And
Yeah.
does Regice even run Earth out here? I don't know. The point is, these are all picks that are going to be difficult for people to afford and justify on the team because they won't have the points for it.
Hmm.
These are like nice to haves, and um, I just don't think people will be able to justify having one of them with Malamar personally. And actually, the zeros into Malamar is very playable. The twos into Malamar is very playable. Um,
And choosing Malamar. I'm trusting you here that you know that the twos into Malamar are good. Or
it's pretty even. Okay, so if you have a Shadow Tentacle, you straight up win the twos, and you win the zeros if you go Skull. You win the zeros with Skull, I believe. Or maybe that's an IBZ thing, but like it's really not straightforward. Um, yeah,
so
and it kind of
you believe it's good.
I don't know. I don't. I think I would. So my problem with it being value is that it's 4 points, and I don't think it's value. I either think it's good or overpriced.
Right. Well, we're going to put it in good then because you are right. 4 points is unlike Credilli and Cress. The reason why I think it's value in my head though is that fits very well into a team build, and I don't think Cress or Credilli do. I think you'd have to really, really have a hard on for them to find a way to, everyone has a signature Pokemon. You have Shadow Zapdos. I have Chespin. I'm gonna run it when I can. Um, do you know what? I won't be running it here. Not even in a Spice Night, because it's just one, it's not available, and two, yeah, it's not good.
No, fair enough. Yeah, and so I really like Drew's suggestion of seeking. I really like that. But I think if you and so when I saw
Seeking
this,
is on this list, so let's.
no, it's not. It's only 2 points. So we're not doing 2 pointers. We're sticking
Okay.
to. But like genuinely my initial thought when I saw this list was seeking,
Oh,
and then I thought, well, hang on. If I think seeking could be really good, surely Tentacruel could be fucking awesome. So that's because it
yeah.
it doesn't really need like it doesn't really need icy wind. Like it doesn't need icy wind. It doesn't need thrill run. Like it's the poison on a water typing that makes seeking good in this particular league, and that's what Tentacruel does better than anything else. Yeah. Okay, so we'll settle on good. We'll settle on good. Dusclops.
I'm gonna
You
be
didn't know this was even here. You didn't even know
yeah,
this here.
yeah, because I don't see the point in this. It doesn't meet the criteria as well. I'm not shitting on Devon or anything like that, but it's not an abyss and it's not a Lord of the Sky. So what the fuck is it's not ancient neither. Well it's on the Abyss Lord of the Sky side, isn't it? So what the fuck
On the
is
side of Malamar, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
so what the fuck is it doing here? It doesn't belong. It doesn't meet them criteria. If you're gonna make a bit of naming structure and criteria, at least have it mean something.
Hmm.
So, um, it's not Drew
No, it
because
can't be. It
it's
can't.
got way too much bulk and it's got so much utility. It's overpriced. Let's not doubt about that. It's well overpriced. If it was cheap, I think I'd have it in my team. To be honest, if it was really cheap, if it was a 1 point pick, I'd have it.
If it was a 2 point pick, you'd have it as well. Yeah.
Yeah, a 4 point pick.
Uh,
That's really, really overvalued. Really, really overpriced. I don't think it's anywhere near good enough. I think there's sexier options.
okay,
Maybe that's on me that I think it's not sexy enough. But I certainly wouldn't be building my team around it.
so it's definitely overpriced. Is it bad?
It's only got Hex, hasn't it?
Yeah, and even though Shadow Punch has been buffed, like it's still not doing much coming from the Dusclops. And Poltergeist obviously it's very hard, but it's slow. And like I said, speed I think is going to be important here.
I wouldn't be running Poltergeist here.
No, I wouldn't.
I'd be running Shadow Punch, Fire Punch.
Fire Punch.
Doesn't it have Fire Punch?
I think it has Fire and Ice Punch. It's certainly
I'd be giving it Fire Punch rather than Ice Punch.
Interesting. Because like part of the justification for being able to win possibly would be to beat the dragons whilst not having the weaknesses of an ice type. But you can take the same about it being a way of beating the grasses without having the weaknesses of an ice type as well. So yeah, I get that.
You compare that this is the same amount of points as Artifacts.
No, it's more expensive.
It's more expensive. It's more expensive than Artifacts.
This is the same as Crest and Tentacle. This is the same points on the same side as Crest and Tentacle. It's got to be bad. It's got to be bad.
Yeah, it's got to be bad. It's got to be bad because, yeah.
Yeah, it's got to be bad.
Mew's a funny one.
Why?
I'm going for Mew next, so
yeah, we'll go for Mew next.
Mew's a funny one. Because do you know what? If we were doing a draft of this, like if there was like 5 of us and we were doing a draft of this, I think I'd pick Mew.
Maybe round 2. Yeah.
Yeah. Because I know I could make it work. I know it's got enough versatility in there, that I could really, as I said, running Volt Switch on it just gives it a whole new dynamic and things. But in the same respect, we're not running it as a draft. And in which case, it's just garbage. It is a dream. It's a dream, I'm afraid. I don't see what it's got going for it here. Really, it's overpriced for, if again, 2-point pick, really versatile, really useful. Could fill holes in your team.
Go on, sorry.
Where it sits, it doesn't.
Do
you disagree?
No, I think it's certainly not good. I was inclined to agree. Like if you'd have asked me this yesterday, I would have thought Drew also. But I think I don't know. I'm borderline between true and bad because I think there is like
it's 3 points. What's it really beating? Let's just say standard movesets, Wild Charge, Surf, Shadow Claw. What's it beating? Is it beating Dragapult?
No. So let me count. So if I was running Mew here, I think I'd run Dragon Tail, Dragon Claw, Surf.
Okay.
I think I'd have it as a Dragon answer. I'm sure it gets Dragon Tail.
It will get Dragon Tail. It gets freaking everything. Yes, it gets Dragon Tail.
Yeah. He gets everything in the fast moves. His charge moves, I mean, obviously, he gets a fucking lot of charge moves as well, but it's not as
Yeah,
great. They're not always the most useful charge moves.
it
Um,
doesn't get a flying charge move.
no. But
I
yeah,
know that Pokemon Jeopardy.
I think I'd be running Double Dragon with Surf. Um, or maybe not Surf. I don't know. Something to hit the wall. Maybe
Do you know
Wild
what?
Charge should be right.
If you're running Double Dragon, you're running Double Dragon. Why not run it with Flame Charge? Make them Dragon Tails really fucking hurt. Like really
Yeah.
hurt.
Because like I see this as a potential like a Bomber Snow alternative. Because a Bomber Snow kind of has weaknesses you might not want, and you could also pick up Pilot's Wine at 1 point.
Hmm.
Whereas there isn't really anything that's Mew like in the 1 point. So I think there are.
You're talking it now into value range.
No, I'm not, because I don't think it's good at what, like even what I've described it as what its niche is. I don't think it's particularly good at doing that. So I still think it's bad at the max. Okay, go on. What should we do? You make the call. Bad or true?
Bad.
Bad.
Because, as you said, there is just so much versatility in it, and you could have some real fun with it. And possibly in a one night cup, I might just be tempted to run it and change things around. And when you are putting it in the same value bracket as a Bomber Snow, the stuff it can do, with the resistances it's got, yeah, okay. But
this one should be easier. Go on, sorry.
Just don't get caught against the Malamar. Yeah. So this one's going to be really easy. Really, really, really easy. This is the best of the Regices. No, it's not. No. It's not the worst Regice, but it's definitely a true.
Definitely a true. It's an ice type that doesn't do ice things.
Yeah.
Not fast enough to be reliable.
Yeah. No. It's just, no. Not even worth it.
No. Well, we're done.
Yeah, I think there's nothing else to say on that one.
Jump Plus.
I think Jump Plus really good.
So do I.
I think Jump Plus really, really good. It's probably the premium grass pick here. It doesn't do grass things.
No.
It doesn't do grass things at all. But you're not really relying on it for it doing grass things. It's got a really good level of bulk. It can stand so much bulk it can stand up to an icy wind and not fall on its ass, even though it's grass and flying.
Which is really impressive.
Yeah, it's really, really impressive. It's like that's one of the reasons why I always think it's quite good. And especially now we've got the 50-second clock. You can get out of there. It does enough to get out of there. Aerobatics hurts. Just, really hurts. It's a big, nukish move. So, yeah, definitely in the good slot.
Now, is it good or is it V10?
Again, I hold V10 in really, really high regard. I hold V10 in really, really high regard. I wouldn't say it was V10. I'd say it's good.
I agree. Yeah, I agree. I just think, like you say, it doesn't really do grass things. And that means often its matchups aren't quite as solid as you would want them to be in the good matchups. Yeah, acrobatics is really nice here. There's not many flying resists, and those that are going to be weak to clench. And or variant. Not that that's massively important, but yeah. And you don't even need to run acrobatics now because of
no. Aerial Ace isn't as trash as it used to be. So I would definitely say, yeah, we're on a good.
Yeah. Okay.
So, do you want to start with the next pick?
Okay, I'll start with the next pick. I'll start Auroras. it's going to get shot on a lot here. Like people are going to talk bad about Auroras because it's not Malamar. However, so the instinct is to say, "Oh, it's a true pick. Like, if you pick it, you're done." That's, but I disagree with that. I actually think we can't be judging everything by Malamar's standards, and if you take Malamar out of the equation, which I know is difficult to do, I think all of a sudden 5 point price becomes justified. So I think you have to keep that in mind. I don't think you can put it any higher than overpriced. And I think that the fact that we talked up the merits of Obama now, even if they were even if it's the same price as Auroras, I'm somewhere between bad and overpriced. That's where I'm standing.
So I'm glad you, because when you were starting to say, oh, if we take Malamar out of the equation, would we feel so justified about the price tag and stuff? And I'd be like, I still would feel. It is definitely not on the same value list as Malamar. Definitely 100% not on the same value list as Malamar. It's bad. It's not bad. It's not bad having the rock coverage it's got. Literally nothing wants to take a meter beam. There isn't many things in the top meta that wants to take a meter beam. We've just been talking about Jump Pluff and how good Jump Pluff is. Jump Pluff does not want to take a meteor beam at all. So I would just say it's just a little bit overpriced. Again, if it was the same amount of points as a Bomber Snow, I'd have a dilemma.
Mm.
I'd have a dilemma, and it would go more on how the rest of the team was going. To whether I picked it or not. So I would just say it's just overpriced.
Yeah, I agree. And to your point, in terms of what can take a meteor beam here, you're looking at Runa Regice and Flygon. Mm-hmm. The classic ice type counters. So yeah, I think it has to be overpriced. I agree.
A few moments later.
So you think Kalethnik had his first wank to chat roulette?
Listen, he's the right age. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Sorry, we went off. Yeah. So Tyrant.
Same points as Artifax, same side as Artifax. Weak to superpower, same as Artifax. It's about as bulky as Artifax. It has ancient power as its coverage instead of Avalanche or Icy Wind. I really struggle to make a case for it. However, the one thing it has going for it is that it's got a much better matchup than Artifax into Heatran.
You see, I think you're manifesting Heatran being a thing. I think you're manifesting it. I know it's high on the PV Poke rankings and everything like that, but I actually think the accessibility thing is going to make it one of them unicorn type scenarios. And the fact that Malamar shits on it will make people scared to bring it if they have got it.
It reminds me a bit of Golduck in that cup himself back in the day. Do you know what I mean? You know exactly what I'm talking about.
I know exactly what you're talking about, yeah. For me, go on.
I was going to say, but I'm not saying it's a reason to use it. What I'm saying is if you put your 6 and Arctivax is in there and you are a little concerned about Heatran, like let's say you've not got a water type, let's say your best answer to Heatran is Malamar, and then perhaps you've got a Hisuian Samurott. I don't, I could see an argument to swapping out Arctivax for Tyrant. If you've got an argument, I could see an argument for it. Would I do it myself? Probably not.
I can see the argument. I can see the argument. I do think Tyrant isn't a bad mon. I actually really don't think it's a bad mon in any way, shape, or form. I think it's a very good mon. Actually, I think Dragon Tail is nice over Dragon Breath. Just gives a different sort of dynamic to it, and the way the playing style of it is. We spoke earlier about Jumpluff and how Jumpluff can survive an icy wind. You don't like it though, and an icy wind leaves it a little bit crippled on the way out. It doesn't give a shit about an ancient power.
No, it doesn't. No, it
Doesn't
really
give a shit. It really doesn't give a shit about an ancient power. So I would struggle to say its value.
Oh, certainly not value. Like
I'm thinking
I
it's
could-
overpriced. I think if it was like, again, if it was 2 points cheaper, do you know what I mean? I'd be like, well, do I need Artibacks in my team? Especially if I've got a Bomber Snow. Do I really need this? You know, and I could save myself some points and I could have, so that's where I would put it. I certainly don't think it's bad. I don't think it belongs there with Mew and Dusclops. Because I actually can see a use for it, and I can see if I didn't have an Artifax. I'm playing Gym Breakers this month. I'm really gutted. I've got really good Artifacts. It's a rank 7, but it could have been a really high rank Baxcalibur as well for Great League when I originally got it. But I chose Artifacts over that. I'm gutted I don't have a Baxcalibur now, because Tundra for Gym Breakers Baxcalibur is actually really fucking good. Artifacts isn't available. So it's so good that I looked into making, what is it, a Frigbrix? Is that how you say it?
Yeah, Frigibacks.
Frigibax. I looked at saying, look, I think I've got like a 96 Frigibax from that. I could make that.
That gets body slam.
I could make that. Oh, I could make that. And that's. So if you haven't got an Artifax, then it's one to have on your team. I think
but it's overpriced.
It's overpriced. That's the be all end all. When you say it's the same price, you can't argue.
If it was 2 points, you have a decision to make. Let's say.
Very much.
Yeah. Okay. Now here's a controversial one. Giratina Origin form.
Yeah, I wasn't looking forward to this at all.
Why not?
Because I love Tina. I think everybody's got a soft spot for Tina.
I hope your wife's not listening to this.
Even if she was, she'd understand. She'd understand. She'd understand. She'd understand. When you put it into what it's competing against, and it hurts, I probably would say it's bad here. I wouldn't say it's good at all. I think, again, you look at the IVs that most people have on it, not many people have good ones. It's very attack weighted. It's not really going to stand up to much. Again, it doesn't have Astonish, does it? No, it's the same price as other things that beat it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I think even if it was cheaper, I'd probably still go for the other things that are more expensive. I don't think you can build a team around it. I don't think it's...
Okay.
Yeah. So it's definitely overpriced or bad. That's where I'm...
You reckon?
Yeah. Honestly, you look at it, again, I go back to this. Would you have it in your team if it was So Lugia. Lugia is really good. I really, really like Lugia. I can't find a place for it in my team.
No,
And it's
I
cheap.
agree.
And it's really cheap.
Hmm.
Giratina's in that category. And it'd have to be like 2 points cheaper, maybe 3 points cheaper.
Wow.
Come on, make an argument to convince me I'm wrong.
Uh,
Tell
I
me I'm
can't.
wrong. Show me I'm wrong.
I can't. My instinct was value. My instinct was value because on the basis that
What,
um,
it's attack weighted and it hits like a truck?
but no, because it's not even that. Like it's kind of bulkier than a Venusaur. Like it's not that attack rated.
Mm.
My instinct is that it's valued because it forms a lot of good cores. The typing is really good here.
Would you?
Well,
So I know this is bringing one up later on, but would you have it over Dragapult?
I think it's a toss of a coin, and it depends on what your team is.
Do you?
I do. I do. Yeah. I do.
Do you not think that having Breaking Swipe over Dragon Claw is a benefit?
Of course it is. Of course it is.
Do you not think having Astonish is a benefit? Astonish being one of the top 4 moves in the game at the moment as fast moves go.
Yeah.
So is it
No.
really a toss of a coin? Is it? Or is it sentimental value that is making you say these things? How many people run it in GBL?
I don't know. I don't really play GBL.
No
I
one.
play GBL.
No one runs it. No one runs it. Everyone did when they first, when everyone got a great league version of it. Everyone was running it all the time. We were all doing different cores with it and things like that because it makes a really good core because it's such nice typing. But actually,
I just think
when you take it away from Ultra League and Master League, it's not as good.
Oh no, for sure. I just think
I just think it's really good value, even though I wouldn't put it on my team for fucking, even if you paid me money.
no. I think what it has over Dragonfall is that you don't have to shield attacks that you don't want to shield. Like with Dragonfall and things of that level of frailty, you have to shield everything. Like if you want to be in control of a matchup and want to use it to win your good matchups, you have to shield. Otherwise, you'll take 40% from a Weather Ball Water. Obviously, no one's running Weather Ball Water here, but like you'll take 60% from a Blastoise's Hydro Cannon or something. Like you have to shield that.
I rate Dragapult takes more than 60% from the Hydro Cannon.
Well, precisely. Where so I just think Giratina is better at doing what you want it to do, whereas Dragapult might be a bit more chaotic. I'll happily put Giratina in overpriced. But I just think it's so much better than everything else in the overpriced category.
Yeah. And on an average day, I'd be saying the same. Is it?
No, you're right.
Is it
You're
is it
right.
better than everything else? Is it better than Is it even better than everything else in this cup? Let's make them all 0.
You still don't run it.
And you look at just the overpriced line, I would argue that if they were all the same price, I would still run Aurorus over.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're right.
It's probably the only one.
So we're saying overpriced.
I think we're saying overpriced, yeah. And you've talked me up from bad. Which I feel dirty for saying bad. I feel really dirty. I'm not going to lie.
To me, Giratina, it's one of those where if it was 2 points, it's on your team. Although you said not because of your argument was not because of the Lugia thing.
Yeah. Well, Lugia's 1 point.
Yeah. and it's not on the team.
It's not on the team. It's not on the team. You know.
Yeah. Maybe Giratina suffers from being on the wrong side. I don't know. I think if it was, maybe if it was on the other side, it'd be easy.
Yeah, definitely would. Definitely would. If it was 2 points on the other side, I'd be like. But
I'm
even then,
all over that.
I'm lowering it down a point.
Yeah, fair enough. Okay.
Okay, Runa
Right,
Grigas.
Rodriguez. I think bad.
Okay, come
I
on.
I think it's got so many weaknesses. I think it's got weaknesses to grass, it's to water, it's to ice, it's to dark, it's to ghost. Look at everything on this board. They're all doing that damage.
I think. So, okay, here's a scenario. Runa Grigas is 2 points. It's not.
Mhm.
If it was 2 points, you look at the things that Runa Grigas can do. Do you know what I mean? You suddenly stop treating it as a ghost. You start treating it as a ground type with ghost resistance. You run Sand Tune and you run Earth Power.
So if you make it 2 points, all of a sudden it becomes a lot more attractive because of like the 2 points on that side are really shit. They're really shit. Like they're so bad. Like the best options are in my mind Relicanth and Uxie.
Barbaricle's not dog shit. Oh,
Is it not? See, I keep going back to the Barbaricle. I keep going back to Barbaricle in my building, but it never actually beats it when I look at, well, just maybe it beats this, or maybe it corrects this, but it never actually beats what I want it to be, that I think it probably should be. So, yeah.
You're just not picking. You're not having a 2 point pick from that side, to be honest. Let's face it. It was designed so you didn't have a 2 point pick from that side.
Yeah, but doesn't that really make you want one? Like, it really makes you want to pick Uxie. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, come on! No one wants to play.
No. I'm at the point at the minute where I've got 5 that I really like, and I have 2 points left to pick something from that side, and it's like it feels wrong. It feels wrong having a point left over. And it's like whatever I pick is likely to never get used. I kind of think if I play someone that doesn't have Malamar, all of a sudden Uxie might be really fucking good. Okay. But the fact that that's what we're comparing it to here, I don't think that says a lot.
No, it doesn't say. It doesn't say a lot, and it's So are we going with bad on the basis of? Are we going with bad because on the basis of it's not as bulky as Dusclops? I know
it's got far more weaknesses.
It's got far more weaknesses, and it doesn't have the variety of moves options. Although it does have Shadow Claw.
I don't think its moves are good. I don't think it even needs variety of moves. I just think literally everything's in its perfect.
Okay, I'm willing to say that. I'm willing to go with that. I'm willing to say it's bad.
But it's definitely worse than Giratina. Right?
Yeah, no, it is worse than Giratina. It's much worse than Giratina. It's much worse. It's much, much worse. It's nowhere near. I don't have warm feelings about Rodriguez at all.
No,
so it doesn't even get sentimental points.
No.
So, did we talk about the tier above B10? Stan. I think we'll call it. I kid. But if there was going to be one, Stan.
I'm gonna bite my tongue.
You're going to bite your tongue. Malamar is single-handedly the best mon in this meta. By far. So much so that there is an argument for it to cost 7 points rather than 5.
If it cost 7 points, would you pick it?
No. but
Plenty would.
plenty would, and I think it'd make it really interesting. I think it'd make it really, really interesting then. I think it would really add a level of chaos. The fact of the matter is, I think if you can get, we talked about this, you know, the prospect of where Malamar would fit into people's teams, and because it's so safe and does so many different things, do you know what I mean? And because it hits so hard, and it's fast, so it can catch up to things. You could use it in the back, or you could use it as a safe swap. I still think, you've always got that superpower and dipness to it that you could use it as a fantastic lead, run wild on something, make someone think. If I look at someone's team sheet and I see they've got a Malamar, I'm making sure whatever I've got in the lead doesn't get fucked in the ass by it. Sorry if that's, but
Yeah.
it's the last thing I want. And because that thing, if it builds up a speed, it's dangerous. It's like Shadow Drapion. Shadow Drapion with energy is just scary as fuck. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Malamar with energy, and yeah, it's got a freak animation on the side waves. You lose one or two, and then suddenly it's got it's built up to two and a bit moves, and it can hit you from all over the show. You look at that list there of what we've got so far in value and good and V10, and only Jumpluff really feels comfortable.
No, yeah, no, for sure. Yeah. Like it's
even going down the extra tier to the overpriced, only Jumpluff feels comfortable. Going down the next tier, and it's like when there's an argument that a Mon can beat everything.
Everything.
In the right hands, it can beat everything. It's like a Glaswegian with a pocket knife. Absolutely. Yeah. So that's why I think it has to exist in V10. I don't think it can exist in good.
No, it has to be V10.
I would argue that you could make it more expensive and people would still pick it, and it would still be good. Would I personally pick it if it was more expensive? No. Because I think you can build without it.
I think 6 it'd be fine. I think at 7 that's when I think that 7 would be when the question comes in.
That's why I think they should make it 7.
Yeah, no, I agree. Yeah, I agree. But I do kind of, like that it is 5 because it makes those 1-point picks on the other side better. Like all of a sudden, it makes Hisui and Samurott actually solid. And like Aaron pointed out, Bullet Seed Sceptile. Not Bullet Seed, Fury Cutter Sceptile.
Fury Cutter Sceptiles, yeah.
That's the one. Yeah. It gives it play. Like it gives a lot of the shit play.
Oh, suddenly you're running ninjas because you think, actually, I can really fucking hurt a Malamar. And if they switch in with a Giratina, I'm going to bomb it with a Shadow Ball. I can understand. I can get it.
Yeah, I think it's weirdly good for the meta that it's 5. Because if it was 7, you'd have teams that wouldn't prepare for it. You'd have teams that were Malamar teams that would lose to anti-Malamar teams. But those Malamar teams would beat the balanced teams. The balanced teams would beat the anti-Malamar, and all of a sudden the format of the cup becomes obvious. At 5, it's there.
Mm-hmm.
And I think there's something to be said for that. So I do quite like 5. It's 5. Yes, it's definitely better than 5, but I think it's a concession that needs to be made to make the cup more played in a weird simple way. Yeah, so something that was mentioned on Chat Shit was that I think it was Jake said if you're not running Malamar, you're actively making the month more difficult for yourself. Do you agree with that statement?
Yes. At 5 points, yes, I can't see a reason why you. But do you know why I can see it? The only reason I can see if you're not running Malamar, there's two, there's three, but two of them are sort of the same thing. One, you don't have one.
No, that's not an
Two,
excuse.
you're a sadist. Three, you're a Drew, which again is sort of the same as being a sadist. Yeah, I think you are actively trying to make it difficult for yourself. I think there's enough play in the rest of the meta for you to be able to still build a balanced team and have Malamar there as well. You know, even if you chose not to use it, it is probably the single biggest piece of bench pressure you're going to have. Because everyone's going to think you're going to use it. You know, you could build ways that you can defeat it and conquer it, but I just think it's that good.
Okay. So what do you make of my reasoning for not using it? That I think I don't want to have my 5-point man locked up against the Hisuian Samurai and losing the game there.
I think don't have skill issues, mate. No, but it's the same as everything. It's the same as.
Is it? Artibax isn't like that.
Because Artibax is not a 5-point pick.
No, I mean like nothing comes in and hardballs Artifax and high peak Artifax and loses the game there and then. Does it?
Malamar.
No, it's
Malamar.
no.
Malamar hard beats it. Malamar hard beats it.
Malamar soft beats it. Malamar
It's
soft
not
beats
that
it.
soft.
Yeah, it is.
It's not that soft at all. Yes, you're leaving yourself debuffed at the end of it, but you're absolutely fucking it, mate. You could get up to 3 superpowers and absolutely fuck it.
No.
I think so. Yeah.
And my next question is
Aurorus.
Sorry, what about Aurorus?
Beats.
Oh, folks, Artifacts. Okay, yeah, fair enough. Okay, fair. So I'm fine. I'm fine. Is what we're saying.
Fuck off. Fuck off is what we're saying.
Malamar is a tough one to use. It's a tough one to use well. Like I think.
Do you think it's a tough one to use well?
I think Psywave makes it easier to use well.
Do you not think though, even with Psycho Cut, it was a really easy one to use? I get the fact that it's not in an open meta. It's not overly strong, you know.
Okay, let me rephrase this.
It's been around for a while and in a lot of different metas, and it's been whenever it's been really relevant, it's actually been at the top of the meta.
Yeah, no, I can't argue with that. Like, let me rephrase this. It's not as simple to use as something like Drapion. Like when you're using your Shadow Drapion, it's difficult to go. You just tap, 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 crunch, debuff, tap, 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 crunch. Malamar requires a bit of finesse. And I think, yeah, I don't think everyone you're going to play against with Malamar is going to use it well enough to make me that worried about it. Like, Malamar's going to 1v1 something on my team, sure, fine. But it's going to set up a soft loss. And if I've got 3 things that all really want to avoid Malamar, and it can only be lined up against one of them, and they don't have other counts on the team because they're just convinced that Malamar's going to be the answer. I think it's exploitable. I think Malamar is exploitable.
And I think, you know, we can do a follow-up video at the end of the month and be like, so, how did you find not using Malamar when every fucker else was?
Okay. I'm not going to...
You know,
like, I'd like to show people my Magmortar use because that went swimming. That went fantastic.
And I told you my biggest regret about Crypt was not using Magmortar. I mean, I did so bad in Crypt because I did my last 3 rounds in a cabin in the woods where I had no internet signal, and I'm like, you know, standing on top of a toilet trying to play battles because I seemed to get some formulation of signal there.
I did see one of your results, and I thought, really? And then, but that explains it. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I was staying in a cabin in the woods. I had no signal whatsoever.
No, fair enough.
I meant to say, please, can you take me out of the tournament? And then didn't. I think my last 3 results were really bad. Yeah. Okay. But are you saying it doesn't belong in V10 territory?
No, it certainly belongs in V10. But yeah, I guess what I'm saying is that last month, last month was like, for me, it was like I played on sort of Magmortar and Marowak, good vibes and a few pubes, and it went really well, and I really enjoyed it. And I think I'm going to take that same approach this month, and I think that means no Malamar.
Okay.
That's what I think. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, we've got a few minutes left in the call because I think this next one's going to merit some talking about as well. So I think we can squeeze this one in.
Okay.
Regirock. We like Regirock.
We do like Regirock. We do like Regirock. Does it really place value though? It's not good.
Is it not?
No.
No?
It's very expensive.
Yeah, it's 4 points.
It's 4 points.
Look at the other 4-point ones. Tentacruel, Crest, Dust Blobs. It's much better than it's better than Crest. It's better than Crest and Dust Blobs.
It's better than Crest and Dusclops. I 100% say it's better than Crest and Dusclops. But where do you fit it? That's my problem with it. That's my problem with it. Is where do you slot it in and where do you fit it in? And it doesn't quite fit.
So I actually think in the scenario where you're running Malamar and Artifax, I actually think Regirock's a really good partner in that line because Regirock's one of those monsters
you can't afford it.
9, 12. You can do those 3. The 2, 9, 12. You can do those 3. A 2 and 2 ones.
Okay, you can just about afford it, but you're losing a lot.
But if you're going to run Malamar Artifacts every game, you don't really need 6 months. You don't. Like you don't. Like truthfully, if you've got Malamar Artifacts, you'd be fully justified running those every game.
I think there are other ones that I choose to have within the structure that I think have a really good place.
Yeah. No, there are. For sure. But Regirock is taking shit, and that really helps Malamar, and that really helps Artifacts.
You respect him.
Yeah, he takes a lot of shields. He's not taking just one shield. He's taking a lot of shields.
And the more you're saying it, the more I can see a scenario where you would lead Regirock, you would stay in for a little while, switch into your Malamar, really do some damage or really hurt it. That his closing moves are fucking brilliant. If you don't want to go into it shields out with it having energy. Fuck me, no.
I think it's good.
Regirock could do some damage actually. It do some really good damage.
So just going back to the Aurora's conversation. If everything was 0 points, Regirock's on my team. Like no questions.
Yeah, no, I can see that. I can see that. I can see that. Um, I'm just thinking, would I have it over Aurorus? I mean, that's
Oh
not the
yeah,
question. Would you?
yeah, for sure.
What?
You'd go Obama Snow, and you'd go Obama Snow as your ice, and Reggie Rock as your rock. Reggie Rock's like so so good because it's so much faster. It doesn't rely on like to do for Aurorus to do rock type things. You have to rely on base sometimes more than you would
Yeah,
want to. Reggie
yeah,
Rock's the only thing here that can do rock type things reliably. I mean, maybe Cradley, but that's got the ice weakness.
yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, we're talking.
and it's slower and weaker.
Yeah. So are we placing Reggie Rocking good? That's what we're saying.
I firmly believe it's good. I firmly believe it's good.
It's either good or overpriced.
Yeah,
Uh, and
but it's so much better. It's so
I
much
am,
better than the other price. It's so much better than the other.
yeah, it's so much better. And there's, as you said, there's so many ways you can use it. And I can see the ways you can use it, and I can see actually the versatility in there as well with it. For all it's just pure rock, it's not just pure rock. It does other things, um, and adds dynamic to things. Okay, we'll go in with good. We'll go in with good.
Yes, I like that.
More moments later.
So you really think that that night Kalashnik and Truth shared a bed? Oh, we're back online, right? Okay.
I don't. I try not. I try not to think about that idea.
Anyway, important stuff. Important stuff.
Important stuff. Very, very important stuff. Dragapult.
Dragapult.
There's only one spot on this list for me where it goes.
What, you think it goes in good?
No, I think it goes in value.
Okay, then we're in very much agreement. We're in very much agreement. I ran Dragapult last month, the entire month, because I could. Was it a mistake? Probably yes. As we already said, I didn't run Godmortar because I didn't change my team quick enough when the tournament started, and I realised that Shinotic is still in there, and Dragapult and Shinotic just there was too much overlap in what they did, and yeah, it made it really unsafe for me to bring. Yeah, I think it's value. I do think it's value. I think it does. He's certainly better than Tina here, in my opinion, just because of breaking swipes. And Astonish is great. I mean, you don't even have to be good to use Astonish.
No, which is why I like it because I am so. I used to be good at this game, right? By any standard, there were times where, by any standard, I was good at this game. Now that is not the case. That is very much not the case. Um, but Dragapult is one of those mons where if you can come up with a sound strategy with it, it's very difficult to go wrong with that sound strategy. It beats Malamar in the series.
Yeah.
It's just so powerful. It's just so powerful.
You
it's
have
got
to
a
have a
really good
strategy.
type in here.
You have to have a strategy though for using it because you can't just.
No, you can't just go in with it and hope to win. But again, for me, that is my strength now. Coming up with a strategy is the strength. Executing it is the weakness. But Malamar, not Malamar, Dragapult kind of.
You've got to know your
places
shield.
that
You've got to know your shield scenarios and where you can and can't. And if you can reach that next move, is it worth investing the shield and what it will cost you in the long run? I think you do need to play it smart.
Yeah, I'm not even sure whether you need to know the Sims. Like, I don't really know the Sims. Like, I looked at like 2 Sims. I just think it's so chaotic.
You say Ace. You say not knowing the Sims, but you know
Yeah,
how many astonishes reaches a breaking swipe.
4 and then 3.
Exactly. And that's all
Yeah,
you need to
you can't
really.
argue with that.
Yeah, these are not. It's not quick maths or anything like
No.
that. And you're actually, for those who don't know, Matt's really good at maths, like scarily good at maths. He won the Greater Manchester Maths Challenge when he was a kid. Oh, sorry, Greater Yorkshire Maths Challenge.
Did I?
Um,
I don't remember
no,
that.
I don't know if you did or not, but I know you were like, he was Rain Man. You know what I mean? He was telling me not to run the hot water in the bath on him and stuff like that. So you've never seen the film Rain Man, have you? Oh, for fuck's sake, mate! Seriously, go and watch it. Honestly, Dustin Hoffman, probably it's Tom Cruise's best ever film. Actually, is best ever. It's not Dustin Hoffman's best ever film because he did very good films, but Tom Cruise best ever film by far. Rain Man. Anyway, you just gone there, aren't you?
Yeah. I really enjoyed that. Yeah, I don't know why. Um, yeah. But you don't have to be good at maths to know that Dracula reaches its first breaking flight in 12 and then 9. That's ridiculous.
So, I do think Dragapult does create value here, and I would keep it there, definitely.
And actually, right, we talk about breaking flight. Let's not forget Shadow Ball.
I just don't think you throw it.
If you file something down, I don't know. I think it could be really useful. I'd hate to know how much that does to like a jump off. Like I bet it.
Yeah.
I bet it does over 60% to jump off.
Possibly.
I bet. See, this is why I like Dragapult more than Giratina. The team that I like from myself is that Dragapult will just win things it shouldn't win because it's so powerful. Like it's just like all of its moves are really good, all of them, and it's one of those where you can be in a dreadful position. The opponent thinks, right, Ludo has to make a play here to try and get back in the game. They're going to try and bait. I'm going to not shield. And then all of a sudden, landing a Shadow Ball can turn an almost certain loss into pretty much an automatic win on the spot. And I don't think Giratina has the power to do that, whereas Dragon Ball possibly does. So, yeah, I just like its chaotic nature. I really, really want to run it. I really do. But like we were saying, I'm now in my Dragapult team. I'm in a position where I run Dragon. I have 2 points left to pick something on the other side, and it's kind of like probably regardless of what I pick, I'm not going to use it. So do I pick Uxie for some bulk in case I come up against a team that doesn't have Malamar? Like that's the drawback for me right now for running Malamar, for running Dragapult.
Yeah.
Whereas I could have a much better team if I split the points up and ran a 2-pointer, and then that would allow me a 3-pointer on the side, which is
have you got a Shadow Armor Star?
Possibly.
It's really hard hitting. It's good, man.
I have a Shadow of Mercy. I'm one of those people that TMs everything just in case.
Just in case. Yeah, you're one of them people like me though who missed a Shadow event, mate.
Yeah, so I don't have a Shadow Heatran. Yeah. I do. I have one move.
I haven't got a Shadow Heatran anyway because I've not finished that task.
Fair. I only finished it yesterday. So,
but I've got a load of stuff tagged that I've not TM'd because I missed the event.
Fair.
Because I was staying in a cabin in the woods.
Right. Fair. I didn't even know the event was on.
My excuse is really good.
Yeah, we have different excuses, but yeah.
Should we move on?
Let's move
We
on.
talked about Dragapult. You've said that you've got hard on for it,
I
and
have.
that
I
next
have.
time you go to prom, you want to take it with you.
100%.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
Dragapult is my Magmar this month. And so here's the thing, right? I think my team would be better not running it. But if I don't do very well without Dragapult, I'll be upset. If I use Dragapult and don't do very well, I'll be like, well, at least I followed my.
At least you had fun.
Yeah.
And
Well, I may not have had fun, but like I'll have known that I did the right thing. Or tried.
I ran Dragapult last month, mate, and I was happy that I did. I didn't do particularly well, but you know what? I had fun. So,
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. And no one takes Devon seriously anyway. There's only about 12 people that play more than 5 games a month. So
Yeah. But, we should all play more. We should all look out if you're watching in South America. Going to be a battle tower. It's going to be really good fun. Get to meet your other trainers, do a lot of trading, swap around those Heatrans, because you've all got the low level Heatrans. You could trade them to each other and.
is it in person?
Probably not.
Probably not.
I keep forgetting nothing's in person anymore.
No.
It's
No.
sad.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? It is. Okay. Kingdra.
So this is a weird one. Kingdra. I think Kingdra is value. Okay.
I think it's true.
Whoa! You think it's true?
Yeah.
So I think it's value because it's just sturdy and steady. It doesn't do anything really bad, but it doesn't do anything really good. It's not.
It doesn't do anything remotely good.
Yeah, but it doesn't do anything really bad.
Can you give me a single reason to run it over artifacts?
Ice resist. Okay, artifacts. Outrage. No.
No, with Dragon Breath, Dragonfall is much better than Dragon Breath Outrage.
Icy Wind's better than debuff moves than Octasuka as well.
Okay, I'm going to range you. Okay, so artifacts is in V10. Tyrant, about Rats. Can you give me a single reason to run it over Tyrant?
Beats Tyrant.
But so what?
Beats Tyrant.
But like it's going to lose the zeros. You're going to have to shield to do it. It's going to lose the zeros.
Yeah. I just don't know. I just always think Kingdra's just a really safe, steady mon that you don't need skill to run. You can just run it and you'll be fine. But I suppose the world's evolved and you have other dragons with ice resist now that
it's a steady solid mon. It's a steady solid mon when it's earned. It was a steady solid mon in Jungle Cup because it was the only dragon type available, and it was steady and solid by virtue of it being there for its water typing. Like in a cup where there's dragons, it's never good. It's always really bad.
It's not always been really bad. What was the one where everyone was running double dragon and that was your second dragon? You'd run that and Dragonite.
Was that the one where people whined that it was RPS between Primate, Hypno, and Mandibus?
Yeah, everyone bitched about it. It wasn't a great cup.
Yeah. Vortex.
Yeah, so.
But it was not good there. Like it was your second dragon.
Yeah, it was your second dragon.
And that was before Dragonite got superpower now.
Yeah.
And it was still the second dragon. It's so bad, mate. It's so bad. And it's on the good side as well. Like it's completely in a slot with Dragapult and Giratina and Flygon at 2.
Yeah. I don't think
Flygon.
I don't think Flygon's any good here.
No. But I'd rather spend 2 points on Flygon than 3 on Kingdra. It's so bad. It's so. Come on.
Mm. You made a very, very compelling argument. I'm just.
I would say it's worse than Regice. Genuinely, I think it's that bad.
No, it's not worse than Regice. It's not worse than Regice. It actually beats things. It does genuinely beat things. It beats good things in this meta. Do you know what I mean? By its sheer nature and sheer just bulkiness and staying there. You know.
But is it any bulkier than Tyrant? Is it really? I'm gonna look up PV pokes. I really don't know about it because it's just not something I've ever felt the need to use in about 4 years.
Beats Artibats.
But it needs the shield to do so. So it's no bulkier than Artifacts.
No, doesn't.
It loses to 0 to Artifacts.
I'm looking at the one shield here. Wins the one shield without using a shield.
Well, actually, then the Artifacts just isn't thrown.
No, it's because the Sims are shit.
Yeah.
It's the Sims are shit. Because it doesn't have it throwing the Dragon Claw, it powers up to... Why do you have it powering up to 2? That's fucking shit. That.
Okay, let me ask you this. We talked about how Mew potentially has a niche. Kindred doesn't have... What's Kindred's niche?
Being the least best dragon. Yeah, no.
It's bad. It's so bad.
Loses to Cress. Yeah, no, it's true. You're right. It's true. But on this last pick, I'm not going to back down.
No, I don't think you'd have much of an argument from me either.
So,
where do you want to put Galactopod?
B10.
I absolutely agree.
Galactopod in my head is the reason why I can't fit in Regirock. I just think it's got so much versatility. I think it hits so many things. It's super quick. If this ever becomes a Gym Breakers meta, Galactopod will be Malamar.
No, Malamar will always be Malamar.
No, Galactopod will be Malamar. If this becomes a Gym Breakers meta, Galactopod will be God. It will be God Emperor. It will literally, in the great scheme of things, you'd have, God here, Galactopod, and then a Delian. Like, just in that order. Just in that order, honestly. You know what I mean? Versatility wise, as for a Gym Breakers meta where you can TM between rounds and things like that, look at someone's team and TM and all that type of shit. There's so much fuckery that can be done with Galactopod. Do you know what I mean? The difference with having a Fury Cutter or a Shadow Core Galactopod is just fuckery. How you choose to run it. You run it with X-Scissor. What's your second move that you run with it?
So I would I say Liquidation. However, typically, I see a big argument for Aerial Ace here, actually, as well.
So here, Aerial Ace.
You reckon? Okay. I wouldn't argue with it. I wouldn't argue.
That's my, do you know what I mean? But I don't, again, there's so much fuckery that can be done with it. And that's why I think it actually, at the moment, it is not. At the moment, it is, if we were to put a ranking on these, it would be the third. It would come in third place. And that's me being honest about it. But I think in the Gym Breakers meta, I think it would actually come first place just because it's got more fuckery about it, as Artifax and Malamar don't have as much fuckery. They do what they do. You ain't changing that.
No.
Do you know what I mean? You could make them worse. You could run Avalanche, over Icy Wind. You could run Psycho Cult over Psyway. You would just be making it worse. You wouldn't be improving it.
Yeah.
As
See, I actually think Avalanche on Octopus is probably the way.
do you? Do you
Yeah,
really?
I have no reason of saying that. I just think just that extra
Oomph.
is going to be important.
Maybe I've spent too much time with Drew, but the idea of debuffing anything just, sparks joy.
But see, because I just think I see that, but from the point of if you with Artifact specifically, you've already done 30% of its damage with the Dragon Breaths. Then you're doing another 35% with your Icy Wind. Like you're not leaving yourself much chance to benefit from the debuff. It's not like Dugong, where by the time you get the debuff off, you've still got 2/3 of your opponent's health to give them. But I don't know. That's just off the top of my head.
Food for thought. Food for thought. I mean, there are different styles to everything. We went through Ball or Wind earlier with Bomber Snow, so.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just think Glycopod though is just so much fun here. I think again, if it gets ahead, it just can, and it gets there so quick. Yeah.
My only question is, and again, right? I say all these good things about it, and it's not. If I had to enter a team tomorrow, it's not in my team, which is kind of dumb. Same as Malamar. I do subscribe to the idea that not running Glycopod actively makes you like harder. I do because I think it's much like Glycopod isn't, or is less. Well, it's more by technical, but that's kind of it. The only justification I can see for not running Glycopod is that actually Hisuian Samurai does a very, very similar thing for 1 point, and then frees up your funds for a Regirock, for an Artabax, or a Bomber Snow.
Assuming in Samurott though, you run it with Fury Cutter. You're not having that Shadow Claw, which is having a lot more neutralness across the board against everything.
Yeah.
As Fury Cutter is much more niched in what it does.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Glycopod can be tickled and still stand up.
Yeah, whereas the problem with Hisuian Samurai is if you have it on your six,
it falls over on its back and lets you go at its belly and go, woohoo!
And actually bringing it to a line of 3 can be a risk and can backfire. Glycopod can only go so. Like, the floor, it's got a very low floor.
What is the 3 points difference between them? So
2 points difference. Yeah, there's only 3. It's only 3. Yeah, yeah. So yeah, I think it's very, very good. No complaints.
So yeah.
Do we want to go through putting them all in order?
We could do really quickly.
Malamar
So Malamar
backs.
1. Yeah, Malamar backs Glycopod. Jumpluff, Tentacruel, Regirock.
Yeah. I'd leave a Bomber Snow. I leave a Bomber Snow first here, personally.
I'd put Rorus, Tyrant, Giratina, Credilli, Cresselia.
Hang on, let me have a look. I want to put Giratina above Tyrant. I want to go there.
Okay, I can live with that.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, it has a niche. Tyrant really kind of doesn't.
um,
Rune number one here, surely.
yeah, Rune, Dusclops, Mew, and Kingdra, then Regice.
Okay, there we go.
That's the order.
That's the order. I can get on board with that.
Yeah, I
can get
think
on
so.
board.
I think so. I do still question Giratina and Tyrant. I just think Dragon Tail's so good.
As in, you'd put Giratina lower and Tyrant higher.
Yeah. But then no. No.
Because then I think the opposite of the team. So I think kind of like I think if Tina was to move it, move up, and if Tyrant was to move it, move down. So I think we're kind of balancing usually.
Yeah. Excellent.
There we go. Plenty of shit was chat.
Plenty of shit was chatted. Plenty
Yeah.
of shit was really chatted.
Yeah.
If you were gonna pick out one Pokemon though that was complete nonsense from this cup, so only a 1 point pick, that's actually gonna be really good if you try it, what would it be?
A 1 point pick.
1 point pick.
Heatran.
Heatran.
I think I think it's worth giving it a go. Heatran or Suicune. Like, I can see Suicune as a.
Okay.
I actually really
really
like
interesting, Suicune.
I really like Suicune as the only water type on my team. If I'm running only one water type, I would be happy with Suicune.
Okay. I think
Yourself?
Nidorina is really worth a look at. I think having the access to Thunderbolt is really nice and something that could be explored and something that could be maybe used, especially if you're looking for something to fit into that 1 point thing. But I also think people should. It's harder on the other side, on the good side, because there are things like I could say I've brought up Ninjask many times tonight and Scyther, which I've used in the past when there were less mons around. Because there was a time before all mons were available, and they are good. But when they're on that side of the track, it's hard to pick.
Like the Gliscor as well, actually. Shadow Gliscor in particular. I kind of like the look of Shadow Gliscor.
Yeah.
But like even with the 2 point ones on that side, like when I first saw this, one of my things was Melodic or Shadow Gyarados. But now the more I think about the cup, like even at 2 points, the opportunity cost to bring them and not being able to pick something else on that side, like yes, they're good value, and yes, they're so much better than the 2 points on the other side. But they're on the same side as Malamar, they're on the same side as Tentacruel, Jumpluff, Abomasnow. No, not Abomasnow. Tentacruel.
No.
You know, like there's
Shadow Zapdos. Because let's face it, on here, Shadow Zapdos, you look at that list there, it's a lot of stuff that's fucking hurt by Shadow Zapdos. Like, really hurt. That top line doesn't want to be taken on a Shadow Zapdos. No, certainly, you know.
Neither Jumpluff or Tentacruel. Because
Just,
actually, it's very anti-meta. It's very anti-meta.
Just to really throw it out there, a drill run from a Shadow Zapdos, like it absolutely destroy an Abomasnow.
Oh yeah, of course it would.
Fucking shit on it. In fact, it'd destroy a Dragapult.
Oh yeah,
absolutely. So, with the exception of Regirock, we've just written off everything from value up with, so just because we've done this list of the top tier mons doesn't mean there ain't some fuckery down below.
Yeah, no, absolutely, absolutely. And you know, Zapdos might not even need to be shadowed. Um, like it might do enough. It might do enough damage to just make Tentacruel to Galactopod on its own, and you can live a few more Sky Waves and get a second hit off on that. Like, or a few more Dragon Pulse, Dragon Breaths, and get an extra Drill Run, or even get an extra Ancient Power off on
Oh,
Arctivax. I
this
don't
is the
think it's
thing.
the way, but yeah.
It's just, it's there. It's food for thought, and yeah, and it's not like it's Lugia. I talked about Lugia earlier, and I love Lugia. I think it's a great man.
Yeah.
But there's just no place for it at all. There's just no place for it at all. I think Zapdos, yes, Lugia's got massive amount of bulk. You know what I mean? It's a flying tank, but no place. Its charge moves take forever to get to and doesn't do anything. Zapdos, yeah.
Mm-hmm. I will be taking another look again because yeah, there's just too many things on the left side of the draw that I want to squeeze. You know, um, I don't really like jump offs in my team, but it's more there out of necessity is the wrong word. But at some point, you need to say, I do want to have a viable team, and jump off really helps me with that. I think for me, it'll either be one of Zapdos or Dragon Ball. I'm just thinking.
And you see, I can see it being an ONC, and you're just going. You'll be sat there one evening, and there'll be nothing to be on. Dan will have gone out with her mates to drink martinis or whatever, you know, and you'll be sat there on your own, and you'll be like, oh, I'm not picking her up for another 4 hours, and flash for everybody tournaments will come up and be like, yes, I know. I'm gonna go and play Sosaflow and absolutely fuck him with the shadows zapping us.
Intrusive thoughts about Drill Run. Yeah, just
have a really good time with it, and because I don't think anyone would be prepared for it.
No, they wouldn't.
Why would you?
No. But it's that kind of cup. It's that kind of cup where speed and power.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna get you a long, long way. So it's kind of perfect. Yeah. Okay, well, thank you. This went fairly well. It's going to be an interesting edit for me, but because I've never really learned how to do these videos properly. I just sort of like wing them in a way that kind of makes sense. I don't look into new software or anything I don't already know. I just do what I know how to do. So it's very inefficient. We'll see how it goes.
Well, thanks for having us on, Matt. I've really enjoyed it.
No, thanks for coming, and please we're able to see you. And good luck, and catch you soon.